welcome to Coffee Camping. It's camping and we're drinking coffee. So camping because, you know, I don't actually want to camp like for real camp. We're just drinking a coffee but in a slightly more inconvenient location. Hey, baby, why don't you just bring a coffee outside? Why don't you just make a more portable solution for your coffee? Well, where's the whimsy in that? Where's the whimsy? We're going to make it convoluted and difficult for the purpose of just enjoying a moment. You know, isn't that what it's about? Being in the moment or doing the ritual or whatever. Otherwise, I'm never going outside. You may notice we're in a home gym. So I haven't even left the house. That's why it's episode 0. It's like a proof of concept. It's something we're vaguely not in a comfortable position of the home. We're adjacent to outside. Almost outside. Next episode will be outside. We're not outside yet. We're getting there. It's just we're working on it, right? I mean, I feel like everyone needs baby steps, so. We're making a mocha pot latte. Come here. She has 3 legs. Her name is Guy. She's a girl. Her name is Guy. She has 3 legs. Everyone look at my cat. Cat, look at everyone. Look at everyone, Guy. Okay. She's a guy. And she has 3 legs. And she thinks it's about her. Okay, she's gone. I learned that these things burn and they melt actually, so we just have to be careful about how we about how we it's just gonna be part of the patina or whatever. I don't care that I can't do latte art. That's a lie. I care so deeply. I care so deeply that I can't do latte art. We have coffee. And we are camping. Wow. That's my wife. She's off screen. Oh. She gave me a Valentine gift because she cares about me. I'm cared for as an individual. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Thank you. Happy Valentine's. Pretty good. I can't control the frothing wand to save my life. So, talked a bit why we're doing this whole thing, even though there's like infinitely easier ways to accomplish the same goal in a more straightforward manner, but like, I don't know. I felt like this is it. I felt like this is the way. I felt like this is what I got to do. It's just one of those ideas that come to you in the middle of the night, and then you just kind of got to do it. You got to do it. We are at the home gym. Why did I decide to pretend to camp and make coffee in my home gym? Well, when I was younger, a younger, more spry version of myself. I used to be super duper into lifting. I kind of am. I mean, I don't think that kind of love for the barbell really goes away. I was a competitive power lifter, and I did a little tiny itty bitty bit of a strongman, but not like in a real, super duper competitive, just like like a novice kind of way. I enjoyed the sport. I enjoyed lifting. I still love it, of course. But over time and stuff, and there's this whole thing where your parents, your family, they don't really agree with what you're doing. They don't really think it's safe for you, and it's valid. I don't need anyone to defend them because I will defend them. Yes, they're valid. They're allowed to have opinions. They're allowed to have concerns. They don't understand. They fundamentally don't understand lifting as a sport. They don't understand what my body can do. They don't understand what their body can do. They don't understand that bodies have differences. What they feel is that, women inherently are unable to do the same things that men can, which isn't particularly true. It's like, yes, being a man gives you advantages in terms of strength gain and muscle growth and all of that, but like it doesn't necessarily mean immediately that women cannot lift weights. It's like, that's just not how it works. Basically, our bodies are biomechanically similar. So it's not a lecture. Point being, after my last competition, I think I want to say 2024, my last competition 2024, I did okay. I hit a hiatus. I hit a bit of a slump because lifting just lost its spark, and it's kind of sad and tragic because I I devoted a lot of skill and time, energy, money into becoming proficient at this sport, only for it to like lose its shine to me because the people around me are not as supportive. And I know I shouldn't let the opinions of other people sway me, but it does. It does. I am so heavily affected by what other people think. And we're working on it. We're working on it. That's why we're making a video. We're posting it on the internet to expose myself to the brunt of the online public as a whole. Because ultimately, I should learn to live for myself, to live for the moment, and to care less. Anyway, where were we in the story? Oh, good coffee. So yeah, I hit a hiatus. I wasn't lifting anymore, and it's sad because it had become such a large part of my identity. The fact that I could lift, the fact that my body was capable and strong. It's like I don't think I was anything. I'll be so real when I say I don't think I was doing anything spectacular. I was, frankly, from like a critical perspective of my athletic performance, I like comparatively to like athletes in my weight group, in age class and whatever, I was definitely like average, below average. I wasn't spectacular. And I know that in terms of training, diet, I could do better. I could have done more. I could have pushed harder, but like, mental health. It's or like it's an excuse. But basically I didn't, okay? I could have done more, but I didn't. And there were reasons, but like it doesn't really matter. It's immaterial. I competed, I performed the way I performed, and it is what it is, so it's okay. But I would like to go back to this stage of myself, this way I am. So that's why we're doing coffee camping here. So it's like I can be in the moment and reflect here. See, are we getting now? Are we getting what we're going for with this whole series? We're gonna go places and we're gonna have a moment to reflect, to be in the moment and to think about oneself and where you want to be. and where you feel like you should be, and the things that you kind of regret or the things you miss, things like that. So early this year, I had a bit of a health scare. I started having like headaches frequently starting like October of last year, around that time, even earlier probably, but like I would get headaches and then, they would stay, it would be annoying and I couldn't really get work done, but they'd go away eventually. And then they started increasing in like frequency, and we went to a doctor. The doctor said, to just monitor for increases in pain or frequency, and I was like, well, okay. I also went to a dentist to see if it was like a problem with my teeth, and they find out I like I still have wisdom teeth that I hadn't had removed, but the dentist thinks they're okay to stay in my mouth, but like I have wisdom teeth that are kind of like boar tusks, like they're straight up like coming out of my cheeks. A headache started early January around 10ish, and then like it never really went away. My head was just hurting like basically all the time. So I would take paracetamols, and then at first it would help, and then we were taking like a different kind of medication, like the brand is Saridon, and it's supposed to like be meant specifically for headaches and migraines. It worked a little bit, and then it stopped working, and then I was like, God, my head's like basically hurting all the time. And it was like usually on like this left side of my head, and it would just hurt all the time. And sometimes like I would get like teary-eyed and stuff, and I was developing light sensitivity. At one point after lunch, I was like, oh man, my head hurts still, I want to lay down. So I went and have a little lay down. Before I had a lay down, I looked in the mirror and I noticed like one of my eyes was smaller than the other, and I was like, that doesn't seem good. And then my partner, my wife, she came to check on me, and then she happened to like hold like both my arms at the same time. It's like, how are you? And then I was like, oh no, because I distinctly felt that my left side was like numb. There was like significantly less sensation on the left side than the right side. Then we were like, that's not good, isn't it? So we were like, okay, we have to go to the hospital time. It's hospital time. So we went to the hospital, and I felt increasingly more confused and brain foggy, and I was like feeling weak on my left side, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm gonna die. We got out of the hospital, and it's like, oh, do you guys are you guys gonna line up for the clinic? And I was like, sure. I tried to walk, and then I realized I was dragging. Everyone noticed. I was like, hey, you're dragging your left leg. And it's like, yeah, I am, huh? Because I can't really feel it. So it was like ER time. So we went to the ER. My partner wasn't allowed inside the ER, so I had to wander in there by myself. And then I got to the nurse station, and the nurse was like, hi, how are you feeling? How can we help you? And I was just standing there like, my head hurts. And she was like, okay. She noticed like I was dragging my left leg around, and I was like, my other arm was like weak, and she was like, how are we feeling? My left side is numb. And then she goes, we have a code 14. Come on, get the wheelchair. We're going to send you to the resuscitation bay. And I was like, what's happening? Apparently, numbness on the left side. Some viewers are probably noticing it. They probably saw it like way earlier. It's a symptom of a stroke. So they were like, baby girl, you might have a stroke. And I was like, what? A stroke? So yeah, they do an MRI, and it's like, good news. Your brain's not bleeding. Bad news. Yet. So I was like, what do you mean yet? So they were like saying, oh, it could be a sign of a stroke going to happen, a minor stroke. So we'll see. And then they did a bunch of tests. I was confined to the hospital. The funny thing is when you have like a neurologist looking over your case, because a neurologist got assigned to the case because obviously my left side wasn't really working, and that's like a brain problem, they said. So they were like, neurologists, they come armed with these tiny little hammers, and they hit you with their tiny little hammers to test your reflexes and stuff. And they have all these cute little tests to make you do to like see whether or not you're having a stroke and or if your body parts are working the way they should be in general. So they kept testing, and I was under observation, and then ultimately the working diagnosis is hemiplegic migraine, which is a fun, rare little migraine type where your body just has bad migraines, and it's like, I can't. And then like half of your body turns off. And that's mean. And I think that's not fair. I don't think migraine should be able to do that, actually. Actually. Because the worst part is, now that we've discovered that I have this cool, rare feature added to my body, that every time I have an attack, it's gonna look like a stroke. That's the thing. And like, how do we know if it's just a migraine or an actual stroke? You don't know. That's the thing. You'd think, oh, that's why she's doing the coffee camping and trying to reminisce about lifting and whatever, is because, she had a health scare. And frankly, it's not because my cholesterol is high. It is high, but it's not because my cholesterol is high or that I had a health scare, or like the idea that like, oh man, my health has deteriorated in some way in the time that I'd stopped exercising so much. No, it's not that actually that's making me do this. It's the fact that while I was in the hospital and we were debating whether or not it was a stroke or just a migraine, when the notion of like, oh, you could have this life-altering disease in a way that like you could just die, I didn't feel scared. That part didn't scare me, and I know that's wrong. There's something wrong with that. I should feel afraid of dying. And it's like, why am I not afraid of dying? And I thought about it a bit more. I had like, because you literally can't do anything else in the hospital. I thought about it and I realized it's because I'm like not living life the way I want to live it. And I think that's true for a lot of people. That's true for so many people. I'm so sure that I'm not alone in that feeling of like so discontent with the way my life is going that I could just die and I don't care. It's whatever. If anything, I'd feel bad about, oh, I'd feel bad that my wife would be sad if I died, or I'd feel bad about the medical bills I'll leave behind. But like for me personally, I didn't really care, and that's not good. Oh, by the way, if you are feeling the same and you're feeling alone, you are not alone. I do recommend you go see a therapist, you go see a psychiatrist, you get help. I, in fact, have gotten help. I am taking medication for my mental Illinois. And yes, I'm seeing a professional, so, we're working through it. But this is like another avenue for me to work through it, essentially. I realized that there's something that I should change, that something should change about my life. And that sense of not feeling content with the way my life is going or what I'm doing, we should work on it. I should do something fun, something silly, something that doesn't really make sense, like to many probably, but to me it makes sense. This is like, I am going through it. Coffee camping, going through it. Sweet episode 0. I'm hoping that as I continue to do this, I continue to go outside and find new locations to do coffee camping, find new ways to to change my perspective on life. I hope that I will regain that spark for living. I will want to live. I will feel better. That was a good talk. That was a good coffee. Cheers. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.